Today we're going to be talking about several muscles of the pectoral girdle. We start off with the pectoralis major, which is letter H on this side, and also the deltoids, which should be letter H. This is going to be the deep side view. We can also talk about rhomboids and trapezius, rhomboidus major and rhomboidus minor, F and G. They're going to be right over on, you can see right here, it's going to be over on F and then G. And then lastly, we're going to be talking about the serratus anterior. Serratus anterior is going to be found on letter I. It looks like strips of bacon from this point of view. Now, when we're learning about the muscular system and this idea of growing muscles, I usually think of the movie Rocky IV, which is my favorite of the series. But back when I was in high school, I had this whole Rocky phase, and there was this particular montage scene where Rocky, the main character, he is training to fight against this boxer from Russia. And this whole entire montage scene is really cool because you get to see all the muscles sticking out. And I think at the time during the 80s, it was this whole idea of masculinity. So in case you have seen this movie, or if your parents have seen this movie, this was from another period. So you'll definitely see this hyper-masculinity sticking out as a theme. But yes, we're going to start with Rocky IV. The first muscle we're going to be talking about is the pectoralis major. We'll be going over the origin, insertion, and the action as well. So I'll play the video just so we can talk about the pectoralis major and how it's important for driving extension and sustaining guard position especially. So yeah, he's really going at it with the jump rope for cardio. But with the pectoralis major, right, it's gonna originate from the sternum and the upper costal cartilages. So you're thinking about the sternum like the clavicle area, and the upper costal cartilages will be about the ribs. And then it's going to insert itself at the intertubercular groove of the humerus. And then it's going to flex the shoulder, be able to adduct the shoulder. So you'll see him when he's jumping the rope, that he's able to move his shoulder in a way that is going to help him gain more muscle and do more cardio. The way that I memorized the pectoralis major is going to be SIF. So I'm thinking about the word Sifu, which in Chinese martial arts, it's a tradition that is used to describe somebody that's a teacher or master. So he does have a coach in this movie. And I was thinking of kind of combining SIF, but without the U. And so SIF would be sternum, intertubercular groove of humerus, and flex shoulder, adduct shoulder. I also wanted to point out that you can see the deltoid muscle over here. And the way that I memorized the deltoid was that it's also playing a part in using the scapula. So it originates at the spine of scapula, and it inserts itself at the deltoid tuberosity of the humerus. I was able to kind of just think of deltoid tuberosity and then connect it with deltoid itself. For action, abduct shoulder, when he's jumping rope, you can kind of see that he's able to move his shoulder just a little bit away from his body. And yeah, that's how I remember deltoid. I'll resume the video to talk about the rhomboids and the trapezius in just a little bit. So from what we've seen is the upper back, right? Ivan Drago, which is the blonde guy, and Rocky Balboa, they're both actually using their rhomboids and their trapezius. They're using the upper back, which is really crucial for pulling motions like wood chopping and stabilizing the scapula during heavy punching, especially. And especially when Ivan Drago is like trying to pull himself back up, you have to really, really strain yourself to be able to move right up. So for rhomboids and trapezius, if we remember here that the thoracic vertebrae and the thoracic vertebrae on this side, they're actually really in touch with each other. And the scapula, medial border of the scapula, along with the spine of scapula, with the deltoid that we saw from earlier, they're really going to be using the scapula for, stabilization and for rotation and retraction. So these two have similarities in common, and that's how I remember these. The last muscle that I wanted to touch on was the serratus anterior. It's actually known as the boxer's muscle because it is very vital for stabilizing the shoulder blade during the full reach of a punch. So with the serratus anterior, what it does is it protracts the scapula. So when you're moving your shoulder blades forward, you're actually sliding them away from your spine and pretty much out of the rib cage as well. So for serratus anterior, we're going to be seeing that when Rocky is throwing a punch, when he's basically trying to warm up. And then in this next part of the video, I just wanted to show some more of Rocky and even Ivan Drago like punching and really showing how much force they're putting in as well as a reference. So with that last part that you just saw, you definitely saw the muscles poking out, especially the pectoralis major. That one is for sure sticking out, and this training montage is really cool just because it's very motivational, even for a lot of people that are just getting into fitness. But you can definitely see the amount of hard work and the motivation that is really keeping these two to fight each other at the end. So it's great cinematic, from a cinematic perspective, but it's also really great to explain the muscular system. And lastly, just for fun, we can talk about the calves and even the quadriceps that he's doing in this segment, which is going to be the running. Both Rocky Balboa and Ivan Drago are going to be using their quadriceps very fiercely. It's going to be for just explosive movement, driving the force from the ground up into their running style. So you'll see it right here.